Doing it. I ain't touching it. Nope.
Here,
No,
here,
I ain't touching
here,
it. Nope.
here.
Nope. Good try.
Al, would you still give me mouth to mouth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just checking.
I'm
Okay.
moving. Bye.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TGD Today. It's the round table with Al, Hugh, and George, and we are here because we love you. How about that? I need some Augusta music.
What is wrong with him this morning?
He must have bumped his head or something on
I
the way
hit
in.
something. How are
Bethany,
y'all?
did you hit you?
How
Did
y'all
Bethany hit
doing?
you this morning?
Who? No,
you-
last night.
Oh
You want me to tell you about it?
no, I can do without that. Thank you.
I got pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Heather would have been proud of me. Oh, I cracked myself up.
Yeah,
at
you're
times.
legend in your own mind.
Brother Al, how are you?
Hey, I'm jam up and jelly tied, man. I can't complain.
Back in black.
That's it.
HR, you actually wore a different color today. I'm impressed. Got the gray and the black and that doggone Bridgestone
Well,
hat.
when it's the only hat you own. It's what you do.
That's it.
God almighty. Let's
I
get
couldn't
him a
even.
hat.
I
Jeff,
couldn't even
please,
afford.
Let's get him a hat.
I couldn't even
No.
afford a Bridgestone hat. I got one with nothing on it.
No, well, I may get me some of those too. Who knows?
Actually, those cost as much as those do.
Well, they're a whole lot harder to find. I can tell you that.
I bet you. Yeah, no doubt about it.
So what are we
going-
talking about?
Heck, I don't know. You know, I get tired every week after week after week coming up with what to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
What else do you have to do?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
No.
What about Tiger's press conference? What do y'all think about that?
You'd have to explain it to
you
me.
didn't even hear
I
it.
didn't see it, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Basically, he spent saying it's a long rehab. All I've done as far as to get back out and get productive is I played goalie for the kids. I've just stood in front of the net. Golf, he hadn't done anything.
Probably good for him.
So, but he was quick to point out in lengthy discussion, several minutes, that he is there doing anything and everything for Captain Davis Love, for the Ryder Cup, and that he looks forward to working very closely with him and the other vice captains, and just making little comments like that, like he's already been appointed. Know what I mean? He's on the Ryder Cup committee,
Yeah.
right?
So if he wants to be there, they'll put he's there. I mean, we
He's
all
there.
know that.
Yeah, I mean, he basically came out and stated, our job is to do whatever Captain Love needs, and our job is to do this, and I'm sitting here going, dude, you're acting like you're taking the reception speech
I was gonna say he sounds
once
like
the announcement's made.
he sounds like Hillary and all them in these debates.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So,
Huh? I mean, I hope he does that. I hope he becomes
he was
more
he-
of the team type person
He
that he
was-
needs to be.
He even went so far, HR, as to outline which years the individuals on the Ryder Cup committee, who likewise are just happen to be, including Tom Lehman, going to be vice captains. He announced each year that they became involved, like Davis Love, 93, him in 96. And he says, if you add all that up together, we've got like 4,332 years experience on the Ryder Cup.
And they hadn't won one in how long?
Yeah.
So that ain't saying too much.
Bad
Lost
experience.
7 in the last 10.
Yeah, that's not
Bad
too sporty.
experience doesn't necessarily count.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know,
You
look,
know,
You know
it
what I'm
doesn't-
saying?
It doesn't matter if you
Yeah.
walk into the wall 5 times, you've still walked into the wall 5 times.
yeah,
You got it.
yeah. It's called doing the same thing over and over,
Yeah.
expecting a different result.
Yeah.
I mean,
Insanity.
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Crazy.
yeah. You know, in a slow week of golf, it was interesting to sit and listen. You ought to catch it sometime. So
yeah, I'll get right on it.
yeah, I'm sure you will. Look, guys, I got a question for you. And again, you know me, I love to go behind the mahogany doors and put spin on things. Why do not, when they announce the player of the year, which was Jordan Spieth this year, why do they not announce who came in second?
Because there's a very good reason, and I said this a long time ago, why first place trophies are so much bigger than second and third. Second and third suck. I mean, it's that simple.
There's 300 guys out there
Yeah.
with tour cards.
Second.
Okay, if not more.
And there's 400,000 trying to get one.
Right. What's the big thing about announcing who came in second for Player of the Year?
Or runner up.
Because Player of the Year is simply voted on primarily by
The players.
the tour players.
I want to know why they
Is it a
didn't do
political thing? Is it a personality thing? Is it the PGA Tour will not make that announcement?
Well, let me ask you this: why don't they do more of a big presentation, like a Cy Young or a
Oh, hell
Heisman
yeah.
Trophy
Good
thing
point.
for it?
Yeah.
You know, where Spieth gets a chance to stand up there, and whether it would have been if it was Jason Day, they could stand up there and have a speech and thank their family and thank their sponsors and their friends and all. Give them that. No, they just announce it, take a picture, and then they put it all everywhere, and that's all you.
Oh,
get.
they don't even take a picture, dude. I mean, it's like there's no trophy. It's just like, okay, you're anointed, you're Player of the Year. You know, that and $5 will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Well, I understand that. No, I won't either. It might get you something at Waffle House, but not Starbucks.
No,
Starbucks is a little more expensive.
I'm sorry.
But, you look at it, the guy's Player of the Year, you give him the stage, give him the limelight and let him thank the people and make a speech.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I just think that's class.
Yeah, other than Tim Rosenfort saying, well, how did you feel when you made,
Yeah, I think there should be like a presentation event, for something of
It
that
should
caliber.
It should be like a
it
banquet.
should be a
Academy
formal
Award.
one. Yeah, exactly, like an award banquet.
Mhm,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
The
I mean, they-
ESPYs, when
With
they
a
do the
highlight
ESPYs
reel,
and
The
you know,
ESPYs,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
Do something like that to where you've got everybody there, and you can give the low stroke average, you can give Player of the Year, you can give winner of this major, that whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They can do all kind of stuff with it to make
think
where
that'd be
people actually
awesome.
might watch it and get an interest back in.
So let me ask the next question. The quote unquote hiatus between one season to the next, which works out to be about 15 minutes.
Maybe 20.
Is that the reason why? Is
No.
that the reason why there's no year-end banquet or award ceremony or television show or whatever? Because they're jumping from one quote-unquote gradable season directly into the next one.
Well, can I say this?
Yeah.
And I mean this in a respectable way, but who cares if they're jumping from this one to this one? If they go in and they have this thing organized to where, all right, guys, this is on the calendar. We're going to have this big gala get-together, whether it's in New York City, whether it's down in Ponte Vedra or it's wherever, and it's mandatory for you guys to be there, and we're going to honor the people that did stuff. You're all members of the – like you go down to TPC, you have to go to that annual meeting on a Tuesday night,
Okay.
or if you don't, you get fined out the yin-yang, and then you don't get to play.
How about this?
I mean, do something like that. Now they got to
It's
be
now
there.
become routine. They do the Payne Stewart Award the week of Eastlake.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Sure.
Why not just tell everybody that's playing Eastlake, okay, you'll stick around Sunday night. Monday afternoon, Monday evening, we're going to have the awards banquet because we will know who's Player of the Year by the end of Sunday.
I'd say give them a chance to go home, see the family, relax, unwind, and then 2 weeks later, okay, here's what we're going to do.
I'm just looking at the logistics. You know me and money.
Yeah,
So-
but you've only got 30 guys there. You've got 200 guys that are tour members.
300, yeah.
Or at least you got 125 that are exempt, and plus you got the new guys coming in from the web.com. All right, everybody's going to be down there. It's a black tie event. Bring your significant
I
other.
agree.
Yep.
And let's do this.
I
thing
just
the
couldn't,
right way.
Again, PGA Tour, mahogany doors, behind the curtains, whatever. What's the big deal? I mean, if Rory McIlroy finishes second or whatever, you're acknowledging that
Yep.
because that's an achievement.
Well,
They'd
but see,
probably
that-
do
if
the
you-
first, second, and third. I'm sorry. Yep.
Well, and not to interrupt, but like what you're saying, and Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but just like doing the Academy Awards or the ESPYs, they announce all the people that are nominated,
Yes.
and then here's your
Winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So don't announce Player of the Year straight up, boom, as soon as it's done. Everybody goes here, and then here it comes. and that's kind of your last award.
Oh, you could even break it down. These were our 5 finalists.
And
according to the
and then
votes
you
of the
put
tour
a video
players.
of them and give them the accomplishments and
videos.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
do it.
highlight
Oh,
reels.
yeah,
That's what I'm
highlight
talking about.
reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
hope
it's not
somebody's
hard.
writing this down.
It's not hard to
It's
do.
big. It would
We're
be-
about to
yeah.
executive produce our own show.
That's
here,
right.
so.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
But I'm just, you see what I'm saying, though? You could do it to where, it's person that hit the most most greens in regulation, most
Yeah.
fairways hit, sand
Yeah.
saves, the putts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do it to where you honor these people, and give
Absolutely.
them their awards, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's a player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You think people that don't watch golf would not watch that on the Golf Channel?
Absolutely, they
You're
would.
smoking crack if you don't. They go nuts over it.
They go nuts. Yep.
Well, some of us smoke crack just because we enjoy it.
Well, you sound like it, so that's good.
Good.
But yeah, I agree with you 100%. They should do more to promote this, without a question of a
I
doubt.
agree.
Without a question of a doubt.
Let's
And I
write
think-
that up.
I think that could be.
I
phenomenal.
think we should.
But
yeah.
it just kind of, this is just another one of those things that makes you go, You know,
Well, you wonder why golf's failing, as far as popularity with the public on television.
I think it's purely political and personality driven to the fact that, we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings for them to know that they finished a close second.
That has nothing to do with it. It's just the fact they don't want to deal with
even
it.
if they
period.
do it
I think
like
it's
you
more of
says,
what you said.
You know, do the
I just
5.
throwing something out
Yeah,
there.
you got 5 people that are in the category. And then the winner is bingo.
Yeah. You do it just like you watching the ESPYs. Or
Isn't
you're-
that a dog?
You watch.
BINGO.
I was just,
That's right.
he was losing me for a minute. Sorry. So you're in agreement with me. And we've even come up with a new show now.
Yeah.
We could even turn it into a reality show.
Pards, we could start our own flipping award show. That
Yeah.
Let's take the 5 finalists and
Go
put
to
them in a
PGA
house
Tour and
together,
say,
and they
"You
got to
know
live.
what?
They got to live together for a month.
You think they'd come if we held it? Would they come?
No, because Fincham would block it. I can promise
Oh
you.
God,
He'd block
PGA
it.
Tour blocked that
They'd
so
block
quick.
it so fast you couldn't turn around.
Oh yeah, buddy. We could invite them to the Grand Strand. Yep.
They'd
Put them
block
up
it
at
in a
Possum
heartbeat.
Trot Condos.
Put them up at Possum Trot. Take them to the Dollhouse for breakfast. Yeah, we could do it. We could
Yeah,
do it
man.
right.
Yeah.
They got steak and eggs.
We can do
I know.
They got steak and
It's
eggs.
$5.
It's on the sign.
Between Tiger,
$5,
Pat
take it in.
Perez, and oh Lord,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be pretty.
Would be pretty.
Yeah, good idea though. Very good. Well done. That was
Heck
a
yeah.
nice,
I like
nice
it.
lead in. I
Yep.
like that. You got me going on something. I appreciate that.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
give me
actually
all-
excited about it.
Seriously, I'm gonna write an article that pretty much says that's what's going to happen in 2016, and just let it go and see what happens.
Well,
I mean,
you're the boss. You can do whatever you want.
NASCAR does a really good
If
job.
I wrote that article, I'd be off the air in a week.
Well, if I wrote it, my wife would look at me and go,
Really?
"You can't write your own name.
You
How-
got time to do that, and you don't have time to. Never mind.
If
Talk about the split
if,
lip.
If I was
Yeah, yeah. It'll be the scissors.
if I was to write it, nobody could read it because I can't spell very well.
Well,
Yonder.
that's what I'm
Yonder.
saying. She gets so aggravated with the way I write because she's good and I'm not. But
Yeah.
now, another topic for you.
Okay.
This is really. I almost did something
Wow.
on Facebook, Jeff, and did a blog because this is really starting to bug me.
Hugh Royer
And
almost did a blog.
I've done them before, thank you.
Have you?
But I wanted to write something
Not a
because
blog.
you know
a blog.
it's gotten to where I'm starting to get very aggravated with the teaching part of this stuff and what I do.
Uh-huh.
From the standpoint that these people come to you and you're teaching these kids, and whether with me it's kids or good players or whatever, and they expect to come get a lesson and all of a sudden it click and they got it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No work involved.
There is, and George, please, and how you jump in.
Sure,
But
yes, sir.
Jeff, same. The work ethic of today's kids and golfers
Preach.
is so lacking. It's a joke.
Yeah, it spreads beyond golf. I mean, it's just
Oh,
work
yeah.
ethic.
Everything, I agree.
It's the work ethic in kids today in general.
I was in a restaurant the other evening.
Yep.
The place was full. My wife and I were the only 2 people in the entire restaurant that we could see that was not sitting there on their cell phones.
Yep.
We're talking about entire families, a father, a mother, 3 kids, and the kids are all young teenagers. And every one of them are sitting there, and you see them scrolling Facebook and doing this, and they're not talking to one another. They're not conversing. The waitress even had to help a few of them make their order because they weren't even paying attention.
Yeah.
Hadn't even looked.
Yep.
This social media and all that. I mean, we're here at the Golf Director. We're like leading social media golf. This is it.
Yep.
This is the kingdom right here. We're at the pinnacle.
Well,
Okay.
and that's where I'm
I
coming
mean, we got
from.
millions of people that listen to us every year.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've
Okay.
got a kid that I teach.
I mean, you got that PGA Tour radio crap. That's fine. That's good. It's a necessary, and I listen to it. Okay, but these kids today, like you talk about, I mean, it's like drive through. They want everything now.
Instant.
Instant.
And if it-
Instant gratification.
And if it doesn't work quick,
It's your fault.
no, they're going somewhere else.
That's what I mean.
Then
Well-
when that gets worse, they're coming back saying, "Well, I made a mistake and I'm in." Da, 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 and then as soon as they're gone again, and I mean, I've literally cut a couple off because I just don't want to deal with it.
Yep.
You know, it's
Yep.
just it's the aggravation of it. But I've got a kid right now. This is no joke. That has got as much talent, and you know, he goes and he gets to school, and this one person says, you know, that's down there at one of the golf courses says, you know, you've got to turn your shoulders more level. They're too vertical, and you got to do this and that. The kid starts shanking it, and he's sending me these videos. He goes, "Why is it I keep hitting these shanks?" I'm like, "Well, personally, dude, you get the club that far back there. The only way you can get it back to the ball is by flipping it with your hands. When you hit a shank, folks, the club face isn't open. It's dead closed. Because the only place you're going to hit it when it's closed is in the hosel, and that's where the Chinese pitch out comes from, as Daddy used to say. Because Confucius say, man who hit pitch out shoot real high score. And so
Yeah.
I get him doing the drills that I do and things, and got him swinging good. And he goes, man, they're coming all right out the face. Everything's great. This is good. And I kid you not, I'm at home doing some stuff for Heather, helping her do some stuff around the house, and it was about an hour and a half after he sent me the one saying, man, this is great on the practice tee. I get a text. Guess what? Go to the golf course, first hole, first iron shot. Shank. I said, I wonder why. I said, I guarantee you went back to what was comfortable hitting the shot and not thinking about what you've been working on. Even though you're on the golf course, you're not qualifying. It's not a tournament. It should be practice. You should be working on what you're doing on that to get comfortable, to increase this muscle memory in the whole 9 yards. First of all, you shouldn't be on the golf course. You should still be on the practice tee, but if you went out there, hit 2 or 3 balls, and keep doing what you're doing. But don't tell me you hit a shank and you hit it perfect on the practice tee. That's telling me you're a mental midget. You're not thinking. You know, you're not staying focused in what you're trying to accomplish. I mean, my dad would tell me, he'd say, Pards, he says, if it's not good, there's the range machine. You know where the key is. Load the bucket up and go hit balls until you get it. And I wouldn't come in till dark. They don't do that. If they hit balls for an hour, I mean, the world might come to an end.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it.
If
you want
it is
it, go
amazing.
get it.
It is amazing. Yeah. I mean, if you go back and you look at, you know, the greats like Hogan, I mean, that guy would beat balls to death. Mo Norman, I mean, he beat balls to death. You know, there's even I mean, one of the players that said it doesn't matter what kind of golf swing you've got as long as you can repeat it. Trevino, you know, so he said if you hit enough balls and you hit them, eventually you will develop. You know, it may not be the best swing in the world, but you'll get it working.
But either way, I mean, whether it's the best swing or not, if you're working on something with your instructor, I don't care who your instructor is, you believe in them and that's who you're working with.
Yep.
They give you drills and things to do. You sit out there and do it until it becomes second nature.
I guarantee you, if you
Yep.
go to any tour player and you said, what separates you from your buddies that you left back at the range, that the wannabes, and it's because they'll sit there, every one of them will tell you, I spent 5 more hours each day on the range than they did. I spent 3 more hours each day on the putting green than they did.
They're too worried about getting to their girlfriend or getting on the phone and their computer.
Well, what I
or
love is
getting to
watching
the bar
students that are
or-
with you, and I'm saying they're paying you by the minute, okay? And I know what you charge. They're paying you by the minute, and what I love is they're sitting there working with you. You're trying to give them really assertive, aggressive type of updates as far as their swing and what they're happening at the ball and all that. And they're pulling out their phone every other shot, and they're sitting there doing this and doing this and doing this. And I'm sitting there going, dude, do you not get it? Let's take this damn thing and throw it in
Sling
the
it.
pond.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking how disrespectful that is to you.
Yep.
How disrespectful that is to the game, how disrespectful that is to their parents, that they don't have any more control than that.
Well, and
Because their parents are paying the bill.
I agree, and but I mean, here's the funny part. And George was there for one of them. You were there hitting balls the one day. I'm giving a lesson, and trying to show this young man what to do. What I do, I said, "Hang on a minute. You're not getting it. Give me the club." And I go through the steps and do it, and he goes, "You're 51 years old. You're hurt, and you haven't hit a ball in 2 months, and you can do that? How?" I said, "It's called practice, and repetition.
Muscle memory. Yep.
It's called years of busting my hump to be able to do that."
Yep.
And I'm telling you, it gets to where it's hard for me to get out of bed to go and teach golf.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because if people aren't going to listen and work at it, why am I wasting my time? Because no offense, George, you know what I charge? It ain't enough.
Well, no, it's not. So
that was kind of my rant for the day, and the
good.
fact that
I think it's
these kids
well
have got
justified.
to get back in. You look at Bear Bryant. They're telling nowadays with college.
Oh my God.
You can only practice for 4 hours a day.
Bear Bryant wouldn't be coaching; he'd be in prison because he would have done killed about
Sure.
50-something kids.
Oh, they wouldn't. No, it would only kill. He might have killed a couple, but he'd have probably sent the rest of them off to somewhere else. But it's like you look at what Harbaugh is doing at Michigan.
Yeah.
The game the other day crushed me because they brought up a great thing. He says, "You guys, you got the talent. I watched the games from last year, but you give
Right.
out at the end of the game.
Right.
They're going to let us practice for 4 hours. When we get there, from the time we leave, it's going to be 4 hours of practice because
Right.
you're not going to get tired."
Right.
And look how he's turned that program around this
Yeah.
year.
Turned it around.
So, I mean, that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Work ethic.
Yes.
Yep.
And heart.
Yeah, and heart.
Good.
All
Drive.
right, let's lighten some things up. I wanted to reflect a little bit more, Jeff. You give me a few moments, I'd appreciate it. The Chinese pitch out. So I got to tell our viewers and listeners the story of my associate at the Performance Center, Corey. He just got back from a trip to Vegas a couple weeks ago. He was there on behalf of Callaway Golf. One of their days, they were there, actually 2 days they were there, they were set up to play golf. And each day, a prize was given to the worst shot of the day. Corey, on the second day, just happens to be playing Valley High. And on 3 of the par 3s, now your worst shot of the day has to be sold to the entire group at the end of the day through a presentation. And it must be given by someone in your group and not the individual concerned. So in other words, Corey had to have one of the other guys playing with him to sell his worst shot of the day. And the worst shot of the day just happened to be they were on a par 3, 160 yards. When he hit his approach shot, he had to take his laser over to fire it at the pin to see how much he had to get back onto the green. It was 97 yards that he had hit it offline. A dead hosel rocket right, but it covered the flag. In other words, he hit it the same length. He hit it 167 yards, but he was 97 yards from the pin. He makes an up and down 3.
Pretty
Okay,
impressive.
pretty
Yeah.
impressive. This sucker, because of that shot, wins $1,400 set of irons. That was the prize. They gave him a brand new set, custom made, self-picked out shafts, whatever he wanted, whatever shafts he could dream up. Apex, the brand new 816 Apex. all for hitting that shank, that hosel rocket, that Chinese pitch out, whatever you want to call it.
Man, if I'd get something like that every time I hit one of those shots, I'd be set.
Oh, dude, you'd own eBay.
Yeah.
You would own eBay.
Every time.
Lo and behold, he doesn't just do it on that hole, but then his presenter also shared with the group about he continued it on the next 2 par 3s.
Hey, if it's working, I mean.
He just didn't par the others.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just where
So
his hands are-
congratulations to Corey Fields. Now,
I've never heard of anything like that in my entire life.
yeah. So now talking about prizes and interesting rounds of golf. I get a phone call last evening from one of our most avid listeners and viewers, the Coggin boys.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
Georgia.
Men's Golf Association Championship just this last weekend at White Oak in Noonan, Georgia. Dennis Coggin is playing with Clay Gardner and Deckert, Doug Deckert, and I think Cliff English. Make sure I get everybody's names right.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis shoots 77 after having a double coloscopy on Friday, literally at 3 o'clock. He tells the doc, said, "Doc, can I go play golf?" And the doc goes, "Well, I wouldn't if I was you." He goes, well, too bad. He goes out and shoots 77 on Saturday. Okay, he's like number 54 without. Okay, Sunday, he goes out. He starts the story by telling me what his final score was. He shot 70.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting 2.3 pops, but he shoots gross 70. He hit 3 greens. He had 21 putts. 21 putts.
That's impressive.
21 putts. And shoots 70.
Flat stick.
And he only hit 3 greens.
That sounds like Kenny Knox
He
at Harvard
hit
Town.
3 greens in regulation. He chips in 3 times during the round. Okay? One of the chip-ins, evidently there were some spectators on a par 3. And I would go through the description of the hole and all that, but needless to say, it's a par 3. You got to fly water, and the cart path goes down the right-hand side that sits beside us some trees that blocks away from some houses. Okay? Dennis doesn't like it when people are front right of him anywhere. I don't care if they're 400 yards down and he's only hitting a 9-iron. It bothers him psychologically. So he tells the other guys to go, waiting for these spectators to move. They never move.
No.
So Dennis proceeds to hit a Chinese pitch out, hosel rocket, dead shank right. It only travels about 70 yards. The hole is 170 yards. The ball hits into the trees, somehow ricochets out, goes forward almost 80 yards, ends up at the edge of a pond. He has to pull his shoes off and climb in the water. He then
I'd have paid
aims,
for this one.
he aims right because he just wants to punch it back out in front of the green. And he said, "I was hoping, George, to make a 4. As he's standing in the water and he goes to hit, he had choked down to the steel on his wedge. As he comes through the ball, his right foot slips. He hoods the club. It comes out of the pond, onto the green, and goes in the hole for birdie.
I'd be a son of a.
And his other 3 opponents evidently quit, DQ'd at that point.
They just said, WD,
They said,
I'm out of here.
"We're out of here. We'll hang with you just to play as markers."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
You
So-
talk about destiny.
That's hysterical.
The golf gods. There has always been discussion about whether they were golf gods or not.
Yeah.
Well, Coggin is known for getting a Coggin. This boy has hit more trees, more rocks, more houses, and come into play and probably end up making birdie.
Yeah. I've seen
Now
some
there
of
was
them.
there was an individual playing with him, Clay Gardner. Okay, Clay is one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet until he has about 8 drinks, and then he gets told he's finishing second. Then he becomes one of the nastiest people you'll ever want to meet. Okay, Clay is playing with him. Now let me tell you a little bit about Clay's round on Sunday playing with Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Clay starts off birdie, birdie. Then he makes triple. Then he makes birdie, 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 birdie. Then he makes double. And his double is on a par 5. He comes in from 90 yards. Wedge. The ball goes into the cup. Rips out off the pin into a creek. He goes from eagle to double.
To double.
The ball went in the cup. They had to call people out to fix the cup.
And he makes double.
And he makes double. Dennis sculls one, hits the front timber walls. It bounces straight up to 12 feet. He makes his for birdie.
I've seen that.
Absolutely didn't get it airborne at all. It didn't get an inch off the deck. Hits some timbers in front of the hole that protects it from that creek. It pops straight up in the air, lands 12 feet away, and he makes birdie. And then he laughs at Clay. Now, Clay's a big dude. He's a truck driver. Mm-hmm. You don't laugh at Clay.
Not in West
Okay,
Georgia. No.
Unless you're Dennis Coggin.
Unless you're Dennis Coggin.
And then you get what's called a Coggin. Okay? Somehow Dennis has made it through life by doing all this and then laughing at others.
Yep. That's right. Yep.
So
You know,
congratulations, Brother Coggin. He is the MGA champion for 2015.
Cool.
And he hit 3 greens
I hope
in
nobody
regulation.
takes a hit out on him.
21 putts. That's pretty impressive.
Definitely.
Well,
Too
guys,
fun.
we went all over the pond today with our shanks. So good discussion. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I want to thank everyone for joining us here on the round table at TGD Today. TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to check out those featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Hey, if you need help with your next golfing vacation,
Just call Dave.
You can call us right here at the Golf Director. Al will answer the phone. Just call
That's right.
844-GO-GOLF-1, 844-464-6531. All of our programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show you may have missed, you can click on the radio or the TGD TV tab in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. We are now available, unbelievably, at 1 billion devices. At iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, Periscope, Catch.me, and Myrtle Beach Golf app. Al Cloyd, Hugh Roy III, I'm George Honeycutt, and on behalf of Jeff Behind the Glass, we want to thank all of you for joining us, and don't go anywhere, please. There's a lot more golf news and information coming up next.